Welcome to Sound and Fury. I am Eric Wilfred Watson.
And I am not. I'm Hugh Frank.
Today we're going to do part 3 of our series of DC fan is forced to watch Marvel movies, even though he doesn't really want to.
Wait a minute, I don't really like the concept you were forced to, because that doesn't bode well for me in Star Trek Voyager.
Alright, let's get started before my headache gets any worse.
But I have my clipboard, and as before, I made some random observations. These aren't criticisms or critiques or praise even. They're just whatever happened to pop into my brain as I'm watching this.
Poppin' fresh dough.
So, the third movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Which comes before Iron Man 3.
Yes.
And after Iron Man, no number.
Yes.
And Frank...
5 is right out. Once the number 3, being the third number you reach, lovest thou the holy hand grenade of Antioch toward thy foe, who being naughty in thy sight, so snuffeth. Anyway.
Anywho,
Yeah.
Random ass observations on Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to our Earth because Elon Musk is a real person and Bill Maher is a real person, and they bring in actual TV personalities to discuss Tony Stark, and I think that's either good or bad. I haven't decided yet, but it's interesting.
It's all true.
Anyway, that's a thing that I noticed. It was kind of, I don't know if it took me out of the movie or made it seem more real, but I think it would have been better maybe without it because it's not our universe, and it's weird to see real people in it, especially if you're going to do like a fictional president that doesn't exist in later movies, and you know, stuff that obviously didn't happen in the real world. So bring in real world people is kind of weird, but I mean, it works in other areas. Like Kevin Smith's a real person in the MCU, as later movies would establish. So I guess I can live with it. But it just kind of jumped out at me. It's like, whoa, that's a young Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's true.
And I completely forgot, because again, I haven't not seen this movie since it was in the theater, and I barely remembered anything about it.
Okay.
I completely forgot the Black Widow was in this.
Oh, yes.
Especially because when I watched it, I had no idea who Black Widow was, and the name Romanoff meant absolutely nothing to me.
Right.
It's like, oh, so she's just like a spy person who works for S.H.I.E.L.D. Meant nothing to me, so I immediately forgot. She just could have been henchman number 5, and it would have been the same to me.
Right.
But having just seen the Black Widow movie a couple weeks ago, I'm like, oh she's in this. That's neato. I didn't say they were important observations.
Yeah, no.
Right.
This was more of a Tony Stark movie than an Iron Man movie.
Yes.
I remember not caring for this movie too much because it seemed kind of different from Iron Man 1. And rewatching it now, I think I like it more. Not more than Iron Man 1, but more than I remembered liking it, because I watched it as a case study or character study of Tony Stark, and I found that to be the most interesting part of the movie.
The crowds are going nuts!
There's a big plot hole in this one.
Uh-oh.
And I'm such a fanboy. I don't really point this out, but I'm going to go ahead and point out the plot hole. Why didn't he just get the damn thing taken out of his chest? Because he does in Iron Man 3. And in subsequent movies, it's not in his chest anymore. And then later on, he gets like the nanites put in there. But he thinks he's dying. Why doesn't he just get the thing taken out?
People don't always make wise medical decisions on behalf of themselves.
Yeah, I guess not, but...
He thought it was cool to have an arc reactor in his chest, which made him a superhero.
Yeah, but when it's killing you, you just take it out.
Maybe he didn't figure out how to connect his suit to the... without the arc reactor in his chest. I don't know!
Yeah, fanboy explanations. But anyway, so I actually have trouble seeing past that gaping plot hole. So this one's actually my least favorite of all the movies because of that.
Really? Interesting.
It is out of all the. I mean, it's still good. It's got tremendous entertainment value, but there's just always part of my brain that's just screaming at me like, just take it out, take it out.
Well, Tony Stark is an eccentric personality, so you can just chalk it up to being a quirk.
Eccentric performance.
But I think what my next note was that the Batman movies could actually learn a thing or two about how to do the non-superhero character, how to portray Bruce Wayne. They don't really do that good of a job of showing Bruce Wayne in these movies.
In the Iron Man? No, not
No.
really.
In the Batman movies.
Oh. Okay.
But
Michael
I
Keaton was a pretty good Bruce Wayne.
Yes, and that's probably my favorite Batman movie is because of that.
Yeah, the awkward dinner.
Him not knowing how to conduct himself, like him sticking the pen in the thing and walking away, and
Alfred immediately grabbing it because he knows exactly.
you give Knox $1,000.
Yeah. You think we should open six cases? Of
Yeah, he just doesn't know how to be a regular person, and it kind of adds to the character.
Right.
Tony Stark is a well thought out, developed character, and I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut.
And I like the stuff with Tony Stark's dad.
So, from all of us at Stark Industries, I would like to personally... Tony, what are you doing back there? What is that? Put that back. Put it back where you got it from.
Yes, that is very cool.
That's all you have to say?
That's all I have to say about that.
I particularly I don't know why it's so funny to me, but when he's getting toward the end of the film and Howard Stark is getting more and more, schnockered or whatever as time goes by with more takes, and finally he's like, I'm Howard Stark, and I'd really like to show you my ass.
So from all of us at Stark Industries, I'd like to personally show you my ass.
It totally breaks down this image of who Howard Stark was. And Howard Stark, his character is based on Howard Hughes, who most people thought he died 20 years before he actually did, but he became a recluse, and he had all kinds of phobias and some weird stuff. But the Howard Stark character that you see you go on to see a young Howard Stark in Captain America, but he's this iconic, but then to see the little behind the scenes personality, and then he yells at Tony in the video or whatever, and you see really young Tony, and you kind of see their relationship or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So it was neat. It's made me want to make films to pass on to my kids.
Found another plot
Which I guess
hole.
is what we're doing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Dear God.
Yeah, fun.
I found a plot hole.
You did?
A minor plot hole.
Just a minor plot hole?
Yes.
Oh, that had to do with mining?
No. Had to
Oh,
do
minor plot hole.
Yes. Tony Stark took the three-dimensional map that his dad made and threw it in the back of his convertible and drove really fast down the highway.
Yes. That's that it would not stay together.
Well, not that, yeah.
Think about that too.
There's that, but more importantly is when he reassembles it, he dusts it off. Which,
That's some pretty stubborn dust pointing in the surface of that thing.
Yeah, maybe down the freeway didn't knock off the dust, but I liked the foreshadowing of, maybe it's too much of a wink to the audience, but when Coulson said, I just got reassigned to New Mexico. See you later.
Yeah.
That's...
Land of Enchantment. Mm-hmm. And of course that's the hidden credit scene or the after credit scene where you see the license plate, Land of Enchantment.
And there was the Senator Hydra, again, setting things up for future Marvel movies.
You, Mr. Stark. You, buddy.
Talk about it. It's a nice pen. Thank you. Come here. Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
He was kind of a dick in the movie, got kind of a bit of a comeuppance when he had to say something nice about Iron Man, but later on you realize that he really is an asshole.
And he blood wings him, he sticks him with the pin or whatever. He's like, it's amazing how annoying a little prick could be.
And I didn't realize that Hammer was the president of the galaxy.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
No, it was the actor from The Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh.
He played President What's-His-Face in The Hitchhiker's
Oh, was it? Yeah. See, I watched the old BBC version. My Zaphod Beeblebrox is a totally different Zaphod Beeblebrox.
I wasn't thrilled with the robots fighting robots ending of this movie.
You can rock 'em, sock 'em with the Rock'em Sock'em robots.
It just...
Ameroid attack. He tells a dad joke. So that's foreshadowing that he's going to become a dad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like in Iron Man 1, we see Iron Man fighting another version of Iron Man. So what do you do in the sequel? Have him fight more Iron Mans!
Yes. This time let's make him Russian.
Yes. But no, it wasn't as good as Iron Man 1, but it was a fun character study of Tony Stark, and I appreciated it for what it was. You could tell they're really trying harder in this movie to set up more future Marvel stuff, and I think the movie may have suffered a little bit for that, because they're like trying too hard to say, we're a cinematic universe now, instead of just telling their own individual story. So it loses a point or two for that, but overall it's better than I remember, and I'd recommend it.
Yeah, and it's okay. And it has basically, it's there to establish Rhodey as War Machine, and it's again back to in our previous video talking about not necessarily naming everybody. He says, "Oh, you want to be the War Machine? You go ahead." So he kind of names them, kind of doesn't. And when they, I can't remember the bad guy's name, but he's got, I think his villain name is like Whiplash or something like that. But anyway, his comic book villain name isn't really mentioned at all in the movie. Just his name is Russian. What is he, Ivan Venko or something like that?
Pavel Chekhov, I believe.
Pavel, yes. Where are your nuclear vessels? So they still hadn't quite got to the point of where they named their villains yet. And they didn't even name Rhodey. They didn't even call him War Machine. And
You know who else made a good War Machine?
Kiss.
Yes.
Or 6 Feet Under.
You took the words right out of my mouth. They made a better War Machine.
Yes, that is 6 Feet Under is, as far as easy listening music, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly find them easy to listen to.
That's all I have about Iron Man 2. So stay tuned for our next video where DC fan is forced to watch Thor.
And I'm very protective of the humans because they're so helpless and ridiculous. Let's go to bed.
Yes.